Hello. Today's video is going to be on margin and how it's used in estimating. Margin, profit, both of them are pretty much interchangeable, or gross margin, gross profit, pretty much all the same concept of basically how much do you make the money, or how much do you make the company who you're estimating for, or for those of y'all who are entrepreneurs estimating on your own, how much are you making for yourself? But so it took me a while to understand the concept. I think I might have been crawling at profit and just didn't realize for the longest time that margin and profit are two interchangeable words pretty much. But how much it is for each company as I have progressed throughout my career has changed. Some at maybe 10 or 15, and then some closer to 30. I think the larger the company is, normally the less the profit is on jobs, and then the smaller the company, they need to make more off of it because they get less projects, and probably smaller projects as well, just on a usual basis. That's kind of what I've seen so far. But let's go into it. So you do, let's go ahead and just walk ourselves through a process since you're here anyways. So, and actually, by the way, this looks so weird. Like, what the heck is this? For people who are in Phoenix, Arizona, why do they put cars up under the bridge? Strange. Anyway, so I will get an invitation to bid in through the email that I'm using for whatever company this will be. Let's say it's company A. So I'm working for them. I get an ITB in, which is an invitation to bid. You get an invitation to bid whenever someone is trying to get your specific trade, if you work for a sub, to bid for it. So let's say you get one for paint, you might, for the same job, get one for drywall, for studs, for whatever, or millwork or something like that. So you get those in, you check them out, you see if they're compatible to the types of scope that your company likes to do, or if it seems reasonable, if the location is okay for a place that you know that your company works. Some companies only work in specific locations, and you'll really get a good chance to see that if you decide to work for a GC, or if you get a chance to work for a GC in the future, because Building Connected, which you might use Building Connected well before you ever get with a GC. I know I did, but I didn't really get as in depth as I have currently being with a GC. So you'll see that each company has a certain service location to where they're willing to kind of go. Some are large and cover the entire country. Some only cover a certain part of a certain specific state. But you'll figure all of this stuff out, and or if you're a younger estimator or just simply an estimator, you may be able to have a supervisor or senior estimator who may choose some of this stuff for you, or just kind of, maybe the owner themselves chooses certain projects that they would like to do, and then they send it to you. Happens different ways. I put it into whatever, well, you go to the invitation to bid, which would be like, let's say on Building Connected, you open the files up and you download the prints that are for construction and for the building that you're going to be working on. In in those files, it'll have RFIs, which were requests for information that other people may have asked, about why does this detail say this, and then, blah, 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 this other thing. And normally the answers, because a lot of engineers just copy and paste stuff onto different things and don't really kind of try and spend their time sitting there going through every single detail for an entire building, which is a lot of freaking work on their part. I'm just assuming, but so RFIs, you'll have specifications, which give you much more in-depth detail on what's going on with the project itself as it's going on. Or actually not as it's going on, but just generally what sort of materials can we use? So it's metal. Can we use this manufacturer? Do we have to use this manufacturer? It is some sort of sealant for concrete. Well, can we use this sealer, or do we have to use another one? Sometimes it'll have pictures from previous site walks on there, so you get a much better picture in places with a little bit more going on. They may have like a Matterport or some other way of showing you the project that goes beyond just a set of pictures. And for y'all who do not know what Matterport is, it is the same software that you use in housing. So if you want to look at a rental or a house to buy, and they give you a link somewhere and it takes you inside of the house and starts to show you, I know for Taylor Morrison and I think the Toll Brothers, they send out a like Matterport specifically as the link that you'll use to be able to look at the house. So anyways, you'll get that or something similar possibly in the information for the project that you're bidding on from whoever you're bidding it with or to. And a little bit of a detail of what the project is, maybe the scopes of work necessary on the invitation to bid. Also, just a little summary. One of the things that I've learned at a GC who actually puts out the invitations to bid to other subcontractors is you want to kind of limit what you detail the scopes out to be, because you don't want to give someone a chance to say, hey, you went into detail about exactly what you needed on the invitation to bid and that detail that you wrote, or the summary, and this is what we did, which can throw off the contracts and how all of the stuff works, money stuff. But all right, you've gotten through all of that information. You download the plans, you take those plans off in, let's just call it Plan Swift or Bluebeam or HCSS Heavy. Did they have, let's say, on-screen takeoff, Plan Hub, Pro Estimate, Fast Pipe, Fast Duck, Fast Wrap, anything, whatever you're using. Maybe you just decide to do a hand takeoff, who knows. So you finish that part up and you will transfer those material counts into some sort of sheet. Maybe your program, which most programs do, tend to export all of that information into an Excel kind of for you. And in some programs, you can even go in and start putting in material costs into it, so that whenever it exports it to Excel, it spits it out with all the material costs done for you. And so whether it does that for you, or you actually have to go in and manually type in all of the material costs, either way, you'll end up with a total amount for the project, for all the material, for all the labor and time and whatever. Some people I've seen, or some companies I've seen, even put like admin duties that would be in the office associated with the project as man hours into a project, or not just, site teams like project managers and superintendents, which is the norm, or, installers, laborers. So that, and then also equipment, stuff like that. So all of that goes in there. You get a total, and that total is what it's going to cost you. But of course, you can't run a company if you don't make a profit. So you put down whatever this margin is going to be. A tool that is going to help you out, pro tip, is it's a margin app that I think it was the investor for, maybe was it PayPal, or I think it's just called Margin now on the App Store. And it has some billionaire, I think it may be Peter Thiel, but someone who put it out, and you literally just type in the amount that it is and whatever the margin is, and then it'll pop out an answer. Or you can probably just get away with using ChatGPT, especially now that the O1 model has came out, which will probably, we'll see, but hopefully actually one day that thing can take off some plans for me. But you can type it in there, and then you should be able to figure out margin from there. It should be able to calculate that for you. And or whatever margin calculator they have like online somewhere or whatever. And you should also be able to do it if you do like I think it's like 0.00 whatever the margin is how you get to the margin. But don't quote me, because this is actually kind of important of a topic, a thing, because your company not only wants to make money but has a fiduciary responsibility to its shareholders to remain profitable, and that's where that margin starts to kick in right there. I know I'm a CEO. Actually, this right here is actually a part of my job as the CEO of my company, to market myself and my company. So I owe responsibility to my shareholders, which I have none, since I'm not on the stock market yet, or really even that big of a company. All right. Hopefully this was informal. Just everything that I said goes for gross margin as well. It's, like I said, the same word, gross, or not gross margin, but gross profit, or profit in general. And just wanted to make sure I got everything in there for you guys. Yeah, that was it. All right, catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.